Hello again. This video is about the social studies for units 6 and 7. It's about the study guide and the project. Okay, so let's first look at the study guide. Remember, as I've told you, we're covering 2 units in the next 3 weeks. Yes, it's a lot of work. It's about 100 pages. It's 6 lessons, 14 through 19. You're going to be asked to read 2 lessons a week. Okay. That being said, you're not doing the benchmark work, and the poetry is kind of tapering off as we work on it. So you've got some extra time, and you can definitely double up on the homework with your reading for social studies, meaning count your reading of social studies as part of your reading time. So I think it's still definitely very doable, along with doing the project. Okay, let's first look at the study guide. Okay, so let me share my screen. First thing, let's look over here on the right. I know you might be distracted by the project, but let's look on the right. Maybe I should just minimize that. Let's do that. Okay, so here we go. Unit 6 and 7 study guide, vocabulary. Know the meaning of all the vocabulary words. There's going to be 20 vocabulary questions. They're going to be worth 1 point apiece. I know, and these are all the words. I know there's about 50 of them. Okay, so 20 out of the 50 is 40% of the vocabulary is going to be on the test. So I recommend that you make some flashcards. Quizlet is great for this, or make them on cards or whatnot. You know, the word on one side and the definition on the other, and be practicing these. Okay, the more you practice them, even though the test is going to be open book and open note, if you have them written down, it's going to take that much longer for you to match things up. So if you study them and you know them, it's going to be that much faster for you to take the test, okay? And then, of course, you'll still have them there. So writing them out on your notebook, in your notebook, would definitely be a good idea, and then making flashcards would also be awesome. The rest of the test is going to be matching true, false, multiple choice, fill in the blank, and short answer, okay? Partial credit will be available on the short answer and fill in the blank questions only. The questions below aren't necessarily the questions to be on the test, but the topics covered will be. There will also be extra credit questions. Okay, they're going to be short answer. There's going to be 5 of them, and they're going to be worth 2 points each. So you could get a maximum of 110 on this test. How cool is that, right? So here we go, lesson 14. We'll talk more specifically, but this is about how the Constitution helped to set up our government. So you answer these questions, and then extra credit, describe the Great Compromise. That's in that kind of edition, that like 4-page edition after the lesson summary. So you can read about that. Lesson 15, same idea. Now this lesson 15 is about the Bill of Rights. Okay. So look at those, and then here again is the extra credit. You can read them there for that. Lesson 16. Now it's kind of how our government was starting and making laws, and how do citizens participate and stuff like that. So we've got some information there to learn about with an extra credit question. Okay. Lesson 17. This was kind of describing our economy, and there's no extra credit question from this one. Lesson 18, now we're moving west. The country is growing. And so this lesson talks about how we go from being the 13 states to all the way across, going from sea to shining sea, just part of what the manifest destiny is. And then, yes, there's an extra credit question there. And then lesson 19, our last one, was kind of filling in the gaps, bringing us all the way to the Civil War. Which we're not going to get into. That's kind of the end of what we cover in 5th grade. And then there's extra credit there on the Homestead Act. So this is the study guide. It's 2 pages long. I recommend you print it out so that you can answer the questions in your notebook or on paper as you are reading through the text. Okay, so now, where'd it go? Where is it? Did I minimize it? I'm sorry. There it is. Now we get to the project. All right, so the project. This is due Monday, June 1st. You have 3 weeks for this, okay? Well, 3 weeks starting Monday, 1, 2, and 3. This is an individual project. You're not doing it in partners. Everyone is doing their own project here. So look at the choices below. Decide what kind of project. Actually, you don't need to tell me. Just, you don't really need to tell me. I modified a previous project, so that's why it's there. If you are doing a report, read about this. Okay, so here's some things you got. One, memorize and be able to present the preamble, the Star-Spangled Banner, America the Beautiful, and the first 10 amendments. Now, the Star-Spangled Banner, we're mainly just looking at, there are multiple verses. We're looking at the main verse that gets sung at public events. America the Beautiful is there too. And then first 10 amendments, if you're interested, I do have a handout. I will be posting. Some of the amendments are quite lengthy. You're mainly just looking for like a 1-sentence summary. So it's memorizing the 10 1-sentence summaries. Consider creative ways to present to the class. You're doing this on video. If we were in class, you'd actually do it with us, but we're not. So you have to do it on video. Okay, so you're posting a video. This is not a presentation, and it needs to be memorized. You're not reading notes, and you're not reading something that's off screen. So if you turn this in and I can tell that you're reading, you will be docked points. Okay. The next two are about the preamble. Okay. Now again, the preamble is part of the Constitution. It's the first sentence of the Constitution. It's really important. It's got a lot of key phrases that help set up the purposes of the Constitution. So you could, one, write a report on it, or two, make a poster about it. Okay, so check those out. Next option, write a 3+ page report on the Lewis and Clark expedition. Include maps of their route, their start and end points, other important stops along the way, as well as important and interesting facts about their journey. Okay. Next option, create a large map of the U.S. land acquisitions by 1853. This map must be in color, show appropriate area boundaries, major geographic features, etc., and all things should be labeled. You look at page 261 in your social studies, that's kind of an example of what I'm looking for. I just want you to make it bigger, okay? And you're making it in the landscape direction. The last three, create a Bill of Rights poster. Okay, so you're writing about the first 10 amendments. Make a poster with those. Must be in color and have visuals to illustrate what they mean. Next would be create a poster about the 3 branches of government and the system of checks and balances set up by our Constitution. Okay, look at page 202 for an example of part of the checks and balances. But then you also need to make sure you're including the different branches of our government, the executive, the judicial, and the legislative. Or lastly, create a short documentary, 4 to 6 minutes, 10 minutes max, about any of the above mentioned topics. Okay, so if you wanted to do a video about the preamble, that'd be awesome too. If you want to do a video about the Lewis and Clark expedition, if you want to do a video about how the U.S. grew in these different land acquisitions, if you want to do a video about the Bill of Rights or the 3 branches of government, all of that would be awesome. Okay. Again, you're doing this by yourself. So the documentary might be a little bit hard, but some of you might like to do that. Okay. This is due June 1st. All right. So that being said, this information is being posted with the homework Sunday night, Sunday afternoon. And on Tuesday, I'll be checking in with you guys at our Zoom sessions. If you have any questions, please make sure to review this video, check it out before Tuesday, so then you can ask me any questions. Okay? All right. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.